This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. You know, as I'm filming this reading for you, I'm looking out the window at some dreary, gray, dull weather, even with like a dusting of snow in some places. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? This wasn't the vibe in the last few days. It's almost like a change in the wind. The trees are moving, the wind is blowing. But you know what? That's the symbolism of it all, a change in the wind. I would say that this is almost symbolic of the fall. You know, when you're seeing the leaves change or the leaves falling from the trees and you know you're about to go into a death and rebirth, that's kind of the vibe right now. And where I'm living, it's supposed to be springtime. We're on the brink of springtime, right? So I think this is the idea that we're ending the astrological year. So Pisces season is the end of the year. We're about to go into the new year. Aries season is the beginning, right? We also have eclipse season coming. So we have a full moon lunar eclipse coming at the end of March. I say that with a bit of a nervous giggle. And then we have the big solar eclipse everybody's talking about on April 8th. So there is a lot coming. I'm actually really curious to see the energies for our full moon Zoom for that next full moon. It's going to be an interesting time. And so, you know, kind of like New Year's resolutions, although I'm not into resolutions, I would ask you to set some intentions. Like, what do you want to see in your life in the next few months? You know, what would you like to do? Who would you like to be? Where would you like to go? You know, so let's take a look at some overall themes and messages for this reading today. And we have bounteous, generously given, relationships and coming together. Wow, that's an energy of union, inner union, the self, and possibly union with another person. I love that. Okay, let's get another card here to see what we need to know. Ooh, the fire snake, living from the heart. And do you know what's really interesting? Look at this card. That snake looks like a number 9. It's a number 54 card, number 9. I've been talking about 9s. 9s are a number of solitude, independence. Maybe you've been feeling the need to hermit yourself a little bit. Like today, you're very tired. You want a nap. You want to just lay on the sofa, just take it easy, maybe hide from the world, and that's okay. If that's how you're feeling, then embrace it. But living from the heart means you've got to search your soul. You've got to search your heart and ask yourself, like, what do you want? And once you decide, then you got to move yourself forward. That's the key here. Like, are you clear with the universe? Like, do you know what the story is that you want to manifest? Do your words match your energy? So let's take a look at another card here just to see what else we need to know. Mending, you're healing. You are. There's a lot happening right now. And we need to mend the past so that we can go into the future. You know, I always say, take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you can have a better future. So what is something right now that you could do for yourself to help your healing? Okay, I'm going to put these cards to the side, and if we need them, we can come back to them. But I want to take the Moonology deck, and I want to see what the moon energies are for the week. So let's start off with Monday. What do we need to know? Believe in the impossible. Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in magic? Okay. That's like once in a blue moon kind of opportunities. Monday is a special day for a lot of you. It means things are shifting. Now let's see. Well, a new start is coming. There's the new moon vibes right there. Sorry, I got a kitty cat in the background as always who decides to play and do things right when I turn the camera on. And on Wednesday, we have here, look at the bigger picture. Always understand that things happen for you, not to you. People get very caught up and take things personally, thinking that, there's some sort of something against you. And it's not that. It's that things happen for you to make moves. We're tested constantly. Like, how many of you feel lately it's like test after test after test? And if something is happening nonstop over and over, it's because you're more than likely not listening. And you've got to do different. Now, on Thursday, work through your fears. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Oh, I got a kitty cat who's definitely not afraid over here. She's shaking the table, and she lays right on it, of course. So if the shakes are not from the vibes, they're from her vibes. Let's see what's going on Friday. A time for healing. So we talked about this mending, right? Major shifts. And on Saturday, we have here, don't let pride get in your way. Stop being stubborn. I think a lot of people have to let go of the ego, let go of the fear, live authentic truth, take off the mask, and allow the new to come in. And on Sunday, it's time to release negativity. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Any low vibrational energy around you, friends, colleagues, family members that just can't stop with their negative talk or, energy, you have to know how to make the boundary from that and separate from that, because it really doesn't help anything. All it does is it breeds more of a story that you just don't want. Okay? So let's see a sneak peek at the following week. A personal issue reaches a resolution. Absolutely. There's going to be something on an emotional level that shifts for you and changes. And again, that's what we want. That's what we need. But we also have to be open to that, open to that change. So let's go back to Monday. Believe in the impossible. What do we need to know? The star, healing. This is all about healing and mending. We've had a few cards now that indicate this. So that is the theme of this reading. We're healing so we can have new beginnings. There's the new start. And it could be a new start in love, the Two of Cups. Look at this energy coming together. The lotus flower above these two. The lotus flower is something that grows out of muddy water, into something really beautiful. All right, look at the bigger picture. We have here, see, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about living your authentic truth. I said it. Take off the mask. Get rid of the fear. Be true to yourself. Look at the bigger picture as to why things are happening. Stop making excuses for why you think things are happening and take action. So working through your fears, Three of Pentacles, there's going to be some sort of collaboration or upgrade to a current situation. Okay. And we have here on Friday, a time for healing. Three of Cups. There's an element of celebration here. Now, by the way, 33 could be an angel number that you're seeing. But the Three of Cups is celebration. It can also indicate engagement or marriage, some sort of proposal. I mean, Three of Pentacles is about going to the next level. I don't know if that applies to your relationship, but it's possible. We did have that card at the very beginning that talked about relationships and coming together and generously given. There's this element of equal giving and receiving, and that's what we want. And I want to remind you, it's okay to receive. I talk a lot about receiving mode. Receiving, it can be as simple as receiving a compliment. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. I really like that shirt you have on. Oh, thank you. You don't have to say you got it for 20% off. You don't have to justify anything. You can just say thank you. If somebody buys you a coffee, say thank you. Lunch, thank you. Carries something for you, thank you. Opens a door for you, thank you. You don't have to be suspicious. You don't have to question. You can simply just be in receiving mode. And then once you become more in receiving mode, more people will want to give to you. That's the beauty of this. You get a little taste of it and you start to realize, wow, like I can receive. It's one of the hardest things for people to do, Now, I will say this as a side note. Whenever I see three people in a card, I think two's company, three's a crowd. And if there are any issues with third party situations, and third party does not have to be romantic, friends, family, work, finances, whatever, it's time to heal that and let it go. Don't engage in something that's not good for you. You're not here to battle anybody, justify yourself, compete for someone's affection and attention. So this is a time for healing and celebrating. Now, don't let pride get in your way. This is saying to you, like, don't be stubborn. See, the devil. This is the thing. Pride can so get in your way. Ego can so get in your way. Codependency, addiction, feeling held back because other people want to keep you in an old energy. It's hard to say no. I get it. It's hard to tell people, I'm sorry, I can't do that favor for you, or I just don't have the capacity. All I can say is it's time to let go of all the things from the old story of an old era that no longer serve you. That's why I keep talking about end of an era. Like, what is it that you want to let go of? What story has completed? Close that book or close that chapter, open up a new one. What do you envision for your story? You remember those old books, Choose Your Own Adventure, where you'd flip to a page and you didn't know where it was going to take you, or you didn't know what it was going to say, and it would take you all over the book? It's like that. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Choose your own adventure. You have the ability to. Stop putting your power in other people's hands. And every once in a while, I share the story about the Search My Soul situation I encountered years ago. Where somebody told me that they were going to search their soul and let me know. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, that's so respectful. Wow, I really appreciate that. And yes, we'll talk in a few days and you'll tell me about how you've searched your soul. Well, as I got closer to that conversation, I had a light bulb go off and I was like, excuse me? I'm like, search your soul? My life is not contingent on you searching your soul. It's contingent on me searching mine. What is it that I want? I'm not sitting here under someone else's thumb or, someone else's timeline. I'm under my own. And I have the right to choose what I want and how I navigate my life. It's not based on what somebody else tells me. See, this is the thing. We have to put ourselves first, right? We have to fill our own cup. And the more you wait around for somebody to search their soul, the more you're going to continue to wait. And all I can say about that scenario is, wow, talk about audacity. So if you have any of that in your life where somebody's basically saying, maybe they don't say those words, but like, I have to think about it. Let me search my soul. I've got to go figure things out. Well, listen, okay, tell them, go figure it out. But you can't be there at arm's length waiting around for somebody to make a decision when you have the power to do whatever you want for you. So it's time to release negativity. Well, there's an example of negativity, right? Something that really doesn't serve you. Let's take a look at Sunday. Well, there's the moon. The moon is about worry and anxiety. You have to release that. That worry about what if it doesn't work out, or what if I can't have this. At the same time, the moon is about intuition and trusting yourself and simply just making a decision. Remember, not making a decision is making a decision. So many people struggle with making a general decision, whatever it is. I mean, it could be like pizza or pasta. How many people do you know can't even decide on what to eat for dinner? And that's frustrating. Have you ever had that thought in your mind where you're like, oh my goodness, please just make a decision? Think about what happens when you can't make a decision and how other people might think. You know, it's a universal thing. If we're not decisive and we're putting our energy and power into other people to make a decision, hence, I'm gonna go search my soul. I'm gonna wait on somebody else to go make a decision. I mean, seriously, it's time for me to make a decision and figure out what I want. And I think people are afraid to say what they want because they're afraid they're gonna be judged for it. They're afraid they're gonna make a mistake. But the only way to learn something is to take action. Otherwise, you never know an answer. You know, it's kind of like when people say to me, should I tell someone my feelings or should I don't know, should I put myself out there in whatever capacity? It could be like, I'm going to go search for a new job or whatever. You don't know what's on the other side until you get there. I mean, you could tell someone your feelings and maybe they reciprocate. If they don't, well, you have an answer, you know? What are you going to do? If you change jobs and you have new coworkers, well, how do you know they're not going to be the best coworkers you've ever met? You have no way of knowing until you make that decision. And I think people these days are just so afraid to say, I'm going to try and see what happens. And that's the same thing with love. People just want to keep swiping to the next thing because staying and trying something takes effort. Now, listen, I'm not saying stay in something that's not good for you. I'm not saying spend years with somebody who can't make a decision or breadcrumbs you or it's hard. I mean, yes, things can be hard and you give your best effort, but at a certain point, you got to move on or you got to make some moves. So, you know, there's a healthy balance there that you have to consider. But in general, you know, make a decision and see what happens. I digress. Sneak peek at the following week. A personal issue reaches a resolution. Ooh, as I'm dropping cards. Well, no wonder. This is the Seven of Wands. Are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? Do you have your arms crossed, body language closed to hearing anything, seeing anything, entertaining anything? Are you putting walls up? And let me just remind you of something. I haven't said this in a little while. And that is, there's a difference between putting walls up and boundaries. People confuse the two. People sometimes put up walls, but walls just keep you stuck. That's a fixed mindset. That's like I've got my arms crossed and I'm not going to make any moves because I'm protecting myself. That's a bit of self-preservation. But it really doesn't bring you any growth. Boundaries means, yeah, I'm going to say no, or I'm going to say this doesn't work for me, or I'm sorry, I don't have the capacity to give to you right now, or I'm sorry, I can't do that favor for you, whatever it is. But you're still going to put yourself out there, you know, and see what happens. You can be selective about where you put your energy. So let's take some oracle cards here, just to clarify those energies. Okay. Let's go to Monday here with the healing and the believing in the impossible. You have to let something go in order to have the new. This could be in relation to grief if you're grieving the death of someone or the loss of a relationship. You know, you may have been feeling discouraged, defeated. Maybe you had a breakup, you were feeling down and out, over and done. But that doesn't mean that you can't have prosperity and new energy. You have to believe in the impossible. You've got to allow yourself to heal, allow new energy to come into your life. If you don't allow new energy to come into your life, what are you expecting? You know, you're going to have the same old, same old. So it's all about what you're willing to put effort into. Let's take a look at this new start in love, because that's a really nice feeling. It's developing. And this is the point. You have to trust the process. I mean, you might be an air sign or dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but you don't have to be. This is just about gathering information, getting to know each other, you know. And by the way, It doesn't have to be new love. It can be somebody you've known for a long time that you learn more about every day that you're around them. You don't know somebody totally right away. You know, sometimes it takes years to really get to know somebody. It's an investment, right? And so on Wednesday, that Seven of Swords, about living authentic truth here and looking at the bigger picture, it's time to break free. And kind of funny, this person is making a run for it here, but they're hiding a little bit because they've got their hood up. Maybe this is a sign of somebody who wears hoodies or always wears their hood up. But this is about like breaking free, and maybe somebody has to let their emotions out about how they feel. You know, there's a desire, there's a spiciness, even this element of freedom, unleashing the inner beast. I love that. Okay, let's see about this upgrade to the current situation. Here's the thing. What's getting in the way of that upgrade? Oftentimes it's ourselves. We're afraid. The mountain can be an obstacle, but it can also be an achievement. You know, it can also be stubbornness or delays. And we talked about that with regards to restrictions or getting in our own way. What's getting in your way if you're struggling? What do you think it is? Is it someone else? Are we putting the blame on somebody else or a situation? Or is it that we're not making boundaries, or that we're not believing ourselves, or that we're not putting forth the effort enough? Because that's, again, are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? So a time for healing, celebrating. Interesting, deeply committed. I think there's a commitment that's getting deeper. A relationship that's growing, that's developing. I really do, because Three of Cups in this case is commitment and celebration, and there's healing here, and this is about being deeply committed. You have an uncommon bond possibly with someone. It almost feels like you're like family to each other, you know? You're manifesting your deepest desires. Are you all in? This is my point. Or are you sitting on the fence? Are you wholeheartedly believing the energy? Are you wholeheartedly making a decision and seeing where it takes you? Okay, that Devil card with the restrictions, codependency. Interesting. The Crow. See, the thing about the Crow is that it is magical, but it's also about nostalgia. Memories of the past. Looking backwards. When I see this crow, it's almost like looking back. You know, you got to be very careful that you're not living in an old story, because that old story really doesn't help you. Know that new things are happening for you. This is an omen. You can solve the problems. But again, it's step by step and day by day. There is no timeline. There is no specific way. It's challenging yourself. It's being consistent and not falling into the old ways. The Moon card here, we talked about being, you know, worry and anxiety or needing to trust intuition. The Moon is also about clarity. Something's going to come to light for you. You're going to see over the next days. Like, I mean, if you really look at this, you've got sort of this believe in the impossible, but to have the impossible, you have to release the old. Things are developing. We're breaking free from the old stuff. We're getting out of our own way. We're all in for what we want. We're not looking back anymore. We're going to allow the clarity and the truth to drive us forward. The question is, well, are you in the old, or are you in the new? And are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? Like, what is it? Which one? You know? Let's take a look then. The Squirrel. Are you energetic or are you anxious? Are you prepared for anything right now? Or are you holding yourself back, squirreling away your nuts? You know, it's almost like that energy of like it's never the right time. Okay. Let me take an oracle card here to see what guidance we can take from all of this. Journey by Moonlight, believe in magic. I asked you at the very beginning, do you believe in magic? At least I think I did. If I didn't, I was thinking it. Do you believe in magic? Joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. Are you open? Overcoming obstacles. Well, there you go. You can overcome anything. Absolutely, you can. Got to put your mind to it. You got to put yourself in the driver's seat. You are the main character of your story. I really hope this resonates with you. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Thank you as always for the likes, the comments, the subscribes. It means the world to me. I will be doing a full moon Zoom for the lunar eclipse. If you'd like to join me for that, it will be up on my website very soon. We're also starting a Little Prince book talk on March 21st, 4 live classes on Zoom. That is currently available on my website. Again, thank you so much for your kindness and support, and I wish you an amazing day.